Hello and welcome to another update video about RNDR. There is not really any change. I am waiting for this channel to break to the downside at some point. We call it in Elliott wave a leading diagonal. They are really difficult to trade. You never know when it's really finished until it really breaks, and then it's often, it's quite far away from key support, so it will take quite a bit of a price drop to confirm it is actually broken. The support level here is still relevant for the wave 2 pullback. So whenever that is finished, and it depends on if we make a new low or not, we could do, but again, it's hanging in there. It's in the middle of the channel. There's no clear change into a downtrend. So at the moment, it's making higher highs and higher lows. We have to go by what we see, which is we have no clear confirmation the trend has shifted to the downside. So very short term, maybe. But actually it's still making higher highs, higher lows. So it would be reasonably likely to expect at least one more high here. Yeah. As long as the 162 level remains intact, I would say we have a good chance to focus on higher, because we're making higher highs, higher lows. We're in a local uptrend here. Just be aware that we start to see bearish divergences on the daily time frame. We talked about that in the previous video on the RSI and the MACD. You just see these bearish divergences, and on the daily time frame they are quite relevant. Okay, and the problem is with the leading diagonal, it's really difficult to trade. But when it's finished, it should be quite a dramatic reversal to the downside, and then ideally the wave 2 is finding support between 80 cents and 147. It's generally a higher risk chart anyway due to the short price history. So to really get good confirmation that we are really in a long-term uptrend, and that this is not going to turn into a dumpster fire, we need to hold the wave 2. Yeah, so it's quite important to know that yellow area here, because it's either that after a diagonal, because a diagonal could be, it's not an impulse, so the situation is not crystal clear. So there's still a lot of sellers here, right? So if the setup fails, it will certainly make new bear market lows. Okay, and with a drop obviously below 31 cents, then you lose all trust in this chart. If it's holding support, yeah, ideally in this region, ideally it doesn't drop below 80 cents. If it's holding support, the next wave up should be very bullish. It should be a third wave rally, and that's really what what we get with this analysis. To know that yes, surely it could fail, and then it's going to make new bear market lows. But if it's holding, it will be a very bullish wave happening afterwards in a third wave rally to maybe $5, $6. The problem is that this move up is not an impulse, it's a diagonal, making this entire setup a bit questionable. Yeah, in the very short term, it's not entirely clear if the diagonal is finished or not. My view would be, because we can only really trade and analyze what we see, that we get one more high here. But again, it's extremely difficult in diagonals. Now in this diagonal, we can see that wave 3 is longer than wave 1. So we have a reasonable, we can make a reasonable assumption that wave 5 might be longer than wave 3. That's often how it works. And if we measure the length of the third wave and compare it to the current wave of the wave 5, we can see we basically have wave 1 and 3 the same length. Next target to the upside, Fibonacci extension target, would be, in my opinion, $3.18. That is very much the 1.272 extension. It is also the previous swing high here, which was made in April 22. So that would be next target, in my opinion. If we break the recent high at 265, I think 318, sort of in that region, would be next target. Then we've got 337 and $3.80. Okay, let's see. But so far, everything points towards, at some point here, the uptrend should be over, because we start to see the bearish divergence on the daily. It's just that the lower degree price action doesn't confirm it yet, but we need to be ready here. We need to be ready. Risk is certainly increasing because we're pushing quite high. We are quite far away from the channel support. Yeah. Yeah, that's really all the information you basically need, right? We've got a nicely defined channel. We've got an invalidation point that I gave you. We have support area defined for 2. And when we have 2 complete, we can calculate a target for 3. That's sort of the situation we're in. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.